stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recommend we make a motion for silence for the troops we've lost so far this war. Thank you.
We have no public hearing, no announcements, no notifications, presentations, or discussions. So we'll go into the standard agenda items. Have a motion to approve the minutes for February 18th.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. So carried. Resolutions. Resolution 1, approval from the town council to advertise for summer help employees from March 23rd to April 3rd, 26th. The pay is $16 per hour. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Number 2, approval from the Massena Town Council to appoint Town Clerk Joni M. Bigness as marriage officer for the town of Massena. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. 3, approval from the Massena Town Council for the town supervisor to sign the engineering agreement for professional services between Bartle Judas, DBC, and the town of Massena for the North Grass Water District project.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay. All approved?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Number 4, approval from the Massena Town Council or the town supervisor to sign authorization to proceed with the New York Power Authority for the town of Massena relicensing project energy efficiency audit. The following facilities will be audited: 60 Main Street, 193 South Racket, 90 Aviation Road, Massena. The allocated cost for auditing the facilities is $62,500, which will be covered by NIPA with no cost to the town of Massena. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
5, approval from the Massena Town Council or the town supervisor to sign the aviation capital project agreement to rehabilitate 2,700 feet of existing paved taxiway A East, including associated stubs and design. Estimated cost $261,000. The federal share is $247,950. The local share is $65.25, and the state share is $65.25. The town of Massena is accepting the grant agreement from the New York State DOT. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. 6, approval from the Senior Town Council or the town supervisor to sign the aviation capital project agreement to replace existing snow removal equipment, including one carrier vehicle and plow blades and material spreader. Estimated total cost is $266,862. The federal share is $253,518. Our local share will be $6,672. The state share will be $6,672. The town of Massena is accepting the grant agreement from New York State DOT. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. 7, approval from the Massena Town Council or the town supervisor to sign the aviation capital project agreement to reconstruct 3,800 feet of existing wildlife fencing and 2 existing gates. The design and estimated total cost of $113,000. The federal share will be $107,350. Our local share will be $28.25, and the state share will be $2,825. The town of Massena is accepting the grant agreement through the New York State DOT. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. 8, approval from the Massena Town Council for the town supervisor to sign the aviation capital project agreement. Rehabilitate 1,500 feet of existing sponsored foam hangar, building 13, the access road construction. Estimated cost of $850,725. The federal share will be $808,188. Our local share will be $21,268, and the state share will be $21,269. The town of Massena is accepting the grant through the DOT. Motion,
I'll motion.
second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Number 9, approval from the Massena Town Council for Council Supervisor Ray Langto and Secretary Bookkeeper Brendan Musa to attend the New York State Retirement System Employer Education Seminar at the Augsburg International Airport. It's either Thursday, April 16th or Friday, April 17th. There's no cost for this seminar. Motion?
So moved.
I'll
Second.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. 10, approval from the Massena Town Council for Brendan Musa and Taya Price to attend the virtual OSC Government Accounting School for Accounting Principles and Procedures on June 10th and June 11th, 2026 at a cost of $85 per person. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so moved. We have a motion for the, to accept the warrants. We'll do the warrants first.
There's a addition.
There's an updated agenda, they added one more, right, number 11.
We're going to table that.
Oh,
We
okay.
can bring it up and I'll make a motion to table it.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it. So you just read it, just,
Okay. For the motion for, accept the warrants. Who did the warrants transfers, Jared?
Yeah, did you want to read number 11?
I don't have it on, I'll get it here, but.
We're gonna table that one.
yeah, you wanna read it
We
though,
should-
so the
so
public
it's in
knows
it,
what it's
yeah.
about?
It's documented.
So it's authorizing the Massena Town Council to appoint Andrea LaValle to the Library Board of Trustees.
We're gonna table this discussion.
We were just informed of it, like minutes ago, so
Yeah.
we're gonna table it for now. And I make that motion, do it again. Do a second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion to accept the warrants.
I'll motion to accept the warrants.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to accept the transfers and amendments.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bookkeeper report.
As of today, March 18, 2026, our revenue collected so far is $4,547,165. In 2025, in March, it was $4,499,506. So our 2026 revenue is $47,660 more than March of 25. Our expenses as of today, March 18th, is $2,477,140. Our expenses in 2025 in March was $2,677,774. So our 2026 expenses are $200,634 less than March of 25.
Thank you. Committee and department reports. Town highway.
For the highway department, we assisted the village to fix 2 water line breaks on Dennison Road. We removed snow from the cul-de-sacs 2 times. We steamed frozen culvert pipes due to the spring thaw. We received the new plow truck from International that was ordered in 2022. We plowed 11 times and maintained all the plow equipment after each winter event. For equipment repairs, Unit 50 was sent to International in Watertown for emissions problems. Unit 53, we replaced some broken hydraulic lines. Unit 50, we replaced broken coolant hoses. For the airport, boutique air numbers for February was 351 emplaned, 327 deplaned, for 678 total. There was 144 landings, 24 canceled flights due to weather. We've removed beaver dams clogging drainage pipes, resolved an electrical break that was shutting off the lights half the airfield. We started performing spring maintenance on the airfield. We maintained all plow equipment after the 12 tons of plowing. The library, museum, and town hall buildings have no new issues.
Very good, thanks, Don. Town library.
So
security cameras to, from NCC systems to Camara integration.
I thought that was that a bulk purchase order between us and the library as well? Is that separating us from that contract?
It would be, yes.
It would be separating us from that contract. I believe I have Brenda looking into it for me, yes.
I just wanted to know what the cost comparison was and what, advantages that would be, and is there gonna be more work for Dylan, more programs he has to monitor?
I don't
Or
believe
whoever
so.
monitors the,
I don't believe so, and the cost was lower than NCC Systems, which was the ultimate reason we went with them. It will be mostly covered by a New York State Library construction grant to do the installation and the upgrade, and there is no particular service contract that we have to enter into with Chimera. They would just respond if we had calls to them, which they don't anticipate we would have.
what about, what's the length of business they've been in, and if you have to switch back, is there a cost for that, or?
They've been in business for quite a while. They have just recently moved to Massena. They're right down on 56 across from Stewart's.
And so that's not the home business is somewhere else, is that?
I think they're based in Syracuse. They've got several satellite offices all over the place and just opened up the Massena one.
But we're still looking into the finances of that? or-
Into the contract, yeah, just because I don't want to incur a cost if we have to break contract.
At that point, okay, thanks.
Yeah,
Crystal, you're also on the agenda if you want
all
to, more
right,
to add.
all right, so the value that the people of Massena got from the library for the month of February was $90,995.60. So that's just really fantastic, yet again, to know that that much money was saved by our community just by utilizing the services of the library. As usual, I kind of want to bring to your attention some of the lesser known services that the library does offer. With your library card, you can get access to Canopy. Canopy is a streaming service with access to thousands of films, documentaries, and TV shows. Its selections include film festival winners, classic cinema, foreign films, and much more. There's even Canopy Kids with some of the favorites we remember, like Sesame Street, Arthur, and Reading Rainbow, as well as some that thrill our children and test our sanity, like Blippi and Caillou. Canopy even has a storytime yoga and a number of children's books that are visualized and read aloud. Coming up, we have a lot. So Healthy Cooking on a Budget with Cornell Cooperative Extension is next week on the 24th at 1 o'clock. We've started doing mini book sales. We're doing one on the 25th from 6 to 7:30. We have NIPA weatherization workshop on April 13th from 12 to 2. Registration is required for that, so give us a call to sign up. We have a Seed to Supper program with Cornell Cooperative Extension. That's a 5-week course. It starts on the 15th of April at 6 p.m. That one's going to be a fun one. And then National Library Week takes place in April. So on April 1st, we will open raffle sales for a $200 lottery tree. And then we are going to start on April 18th with a Friends of the Library Spaghetti Dinner at the Italian American Club from 12 to 6 p.m. That's going to be takeout only, $10 a meal, and the proceeds will support the library. On Monday, April 20th is Patron Appreciation Day with refreshments, and we are expecting that our Warren Room mural will be done by then, and we would like to invite everybody to come take a look at it because it's going to be really beautiful. It's already very beautiful. Starting also that Monday and going through the whole week, we are doing a book recycling program. So if you've got old books that you're trying desperately to donate to the library and we're not taking them, now's your time to take them to the library. We will be sending them off to be recycled properly. So, you know, those garage totes that you've got full of books, we'll take those. On Tuesday, the 21st, is Giving Day, and we will be raising funds for our endowment. We have a very, very small endowment right now, but if we can grow that, that's going to give us some financial stability for the future. And we prefer that you donate directly to the Northern New York Community Foundation for that. The bigger we can grow our endowment, the more money we can take from that each year to supplement our budget, to give us more purchasing power, and to benefit the community and up that value number that I tell you each month. Wednesday the 22nd isn't as exciting for anybody but us. That's Staff Appreciation Day. But we also have a poetry reading organized by Ryan Murphy. And that's another day for the Seed to Supper program with Cornell Cooperative Extension. Thursday, April 23rd is probably my favorite day of National Library Week every year. We have the DPW trucks coming in to do a big truck story time. And it's pretty awesome to see all the tiny kids go crazy over the giant trucks. And inevitably somebody honks on the horn and makes people cry. But it's so much fun. We also have a big kid craft that we'll be doing. I think that we are making fairy gardens. And if you know anything about fairy lore, that seems very dangerous. And that same night at 6 p.m., so after hours, we are participating in a region-wide coordinated screening of the documentary The Librarians. This has won many awards. It's a very powerful documentary. It's being shown at the Strand Theater in Plattsburgh as well as Watertown, with watch parties scheduled all around the region in many of the libraries, and we are one of them. That's at 6 p.m. on April 23rd, and I really encourage people to attend that. It's a very powerful documentary dealing with the rash of book censorships and the effect it's had on many libraries across the country. Friday, April 24th is the drop-off day, so if you're looking to donate baked goods and plants for our sales, do that by 3 p.m. at the library, because on Saturday, April 25th is our book, bake, and plant sale from 9 to 1. 9 a.m. if you are a friend of the library, 9:30 if you're not. If you're not, just pay $5 at the door and you can get in. That same day we have the Shred It truck coming. So if you have a bunch of documents that you'd like to have shredded, the Friends of the Library have invited them to come, paying a pretty hefty fee for them to come and help the community dispose of sensitive documents. And then Brian Hammond will be performing at 1 o'clock at the library that same day. So I hear he is very entertaining. And that's what we've got.
First, if somebody wanted to find that like on a calendar, where would they find all that at, so we could get that out there so people know about it?
Yeah, so we put everything on our website, massenapubliclibrary.org. You can find everything there. And if you follow us on Facebook, we post everything there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to try to get that on our Facebook page as well and get the message out, so.
That would be fantastic. It's a big week for us.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Town Museum. Okay. Chamber of Commerce, Ben Dixon.
Hey, Ray. Hey, everyone. Good to see everyone. I will send a digital copy of my report update to you all this evening, so you can delve in a little further on the details outside of the meeting here, but I'll give you a little overview. It's been a really good month for the Chamber of Commerce here in Massena, and I just want to thank everybody who came out to our ribbon cutting last week. We had a grand opening and ribbon cutting for our new offices at 54 Main Street. Ray helped me with the big scissors so we could cut that, and it was a great turnout and a lot of excitement. Laura Pearson is going to be staffing that office on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're working with our ambassadors in the Rotary to see about having volunteers staff additional hours during the week. So this was a really big milestone for us in Massena, so we're very excited about that. Our 16 Church Street building is still up for sale for $65,000, but make an offer. We are planning an auction of the treasure trove that's hiding in there with Mr. Gardner, and so that'll keep your eyes out for that because there's all kinds of goodies you can get in that. I'm also very excited. Last week also featured the launch of our new Seaway newsletter that we're sending out that features our Seaway communities. So we had our inaugural edition of that, which is exciting. We featured a whole bunch of good stories in there, including Johnny Gustafson's Olympic journey, the fishing being in the Mets yearbook, which was an exciting coup for Don there, and so we're glad to celebrate that. Massena Spring Cleanup Day, stuff like that. So if you have anything you'd like to have shared in that newsletter, or you want to get on the distribution list if you're not already, just email Tom Grazer at our office, Tom@SLC Chamber, and he'll put that information in there for you. Our ambassador group is meeting tomorrow at the Alcoa Clubhouse at 4:30. Main focus will be planning for the Spring Fever Festival, May 1st through 9th. We'll also be touching on our membership and follow-ups to the business roundtable we had at the end of the last year. We encourage anybody who's interested in working with us to join that group. So, and then finally on the Massena front, we're talking about getting a viewing of Christine the History Queen did an episode about the Eisenhower locks, and we're looking at doing a viewing of that at the Seaway Visitor Center, so keep your ears open for that. I'm excited to announce some new chamber members from Massena joining in the past month or so. They include the Sure Stay by Best Western, Massena Arts and Theater Association, the New Testament Church, and Full Service Paving, so it's nice to see our membership growing. I've got some other kind of county-wide stuff that pertains to Massena that I cover in the update. Includes tariff roundtable I participated in, our annual membership meeting, our class, St. Lawrence Leadership Institute class that we held at the Visitor Center last week, our Kiva crowdlending platform that we're launching, and a slew of 2026 chamber events are laid out. And then on the tourism front, the Open Doors to History program for the 250th celebration of the country here in St. Lawrence County. Our new visitor guides. Did I get you all yet copies of our new visitor guide? Doesn't look like it, so I'll pass those out before I leave. Some good stuff in there. We got a new poster series that we did with Catherine LaPointe Volmer, a very famous artist who lives in Potsdam, and did a nice one on the Seaway that we're going to be rolling out. We have a new event calendar on our page, so it kind of gives us actually two platforms. One is a very snazzy tourism event calendar for things like the fishing tournaments and things that will draw people from outside the county, as well as a community-based calendar for our members and community organizations. And you've got more than enough stuff you can put on there, Krista, as we just heard. So very excited about that platform. We just finalized our 2026 marketing plan, and we're launching a digital maturity initiative, which is an initiative that will enable us to work with businesses around the county to help them enhance their digital presence through, their websites, their social media, all of those things. And so working with a company called WareSite on that to help businesses enhance their digital presence. So that's about it for today, but again, thank you to all those who came out to our ribbon cutting. We were very excited and felt good to see continued momentum here in the community museum. So,
Thank you, Matt.
thanks.
O'Brien, code officer.
All right, so last 30 days, we've 12 construction inspections, 3 foster home inspections, 21 complaints, 6 unfounded, 4 violations abated and closed, and the rest are still in the process. Just to give you an idea of what eats up the most time, complaints, by far. Permits a little bit if there's plan review, but for the most part, complaints. Every complaint eats up about a quarter of my time every week. So we had 21 come in the past 2 weeks. So I'm gonna be tapped out for about the next 2 months just dealing with those 21 people. By the time you enter it, you go out, you take your first site visit, then by the time you figure out who owns it, because what's in our system will differ from the county system, and then when you actually make contact with the person, they claim to have sold it. By the time you actually find the person, we're like 4 hours into this process already. So it's, the complaints are kind of bogging us down a little bit, but luckily, or unluckily, depending on how you want to look at it from an economic development standpoint, there's not a lot of permit work, so I've got plenty of time for complaints. And nobody has called or sworn at me on the phone in the last 3 days about data centers, so we're calling this week a win.
Town planning and zoning, there's a planning board meeting set for tomorrow night at 5 o'clock.
They pushed that one off a month.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, there wasn't enough to hold it tomorrow.
Okay. Massena Electric,
We're here tomorrow.
tomorrow. Jason Hendricks is excused, he called me. Don Meisner.
Well, a lot has happened with us doing our sports shows since the last time I was able to be here. We happened to be leaving at the same time, and I had sent an audio report to all of you about some of the things that were taking part, and we haven't had really a chance to talk about that. One of them, Ben mentioned that, but I want to bring this out again because I thought this was pretty profound. Because of what Massena had accomplished last year, setting records with the tournaments and so forth, that buzz went out there, and I think it was from the NPR interview they did with me about what we've done with Massena. I get a call from the New York Mets saying that they had heard all about what Massena was doing and wanted to offer us the opportunity to be in the New York Mets yearbook. Now, I thought this was a fantastic opportunity because you got a base of thousands of people that we normally wouldn't get our message to. We're gonna get, if we do this, we get the same message out there, but it's to a whole group of sports-oriented people. And this is something I believe is a culmination of all the things that we've been doing for the last years. But in any event, we hadn't had a chance to discuss this at a board meeting so that everybody could have a take on what they thought about this. Since that time, this guy, Greg, from the Mets, or from that Mets organization, has been calling me day after day, and he's come down on his price, and he said that he would position this full-page ad that we could do next to one of the top personality players on the Mets, where they do personal descriptions of these people in their lives. And we would get a number of Mets tickets that we could use, a couple $1,000 worth, that we could use for a lottery to raise money to support other things that we're doing here. But, and I know that wasn't on the agenda, but I wanted to discuss it since Ben brought that out. It was because of Massena, not because of me. It was because of what Massena has done is the reason we got this opportunity. And I don't want to take credit for something I really wasn't responsible for, although I've been following up a lot with him. The other thing that I did want to mention is, and I mentioned it in that audio report at the last meeting, that Chris Hoover, the head of Major League Fishing, had contacted me and said, we would like to bring our Tackle Warehouse Championship back to Massena in 2027. Would you like us to be there? And so the only thing I have to tell him, that we don't have dates as such yet or a contract, but they want to hold it here. If they would announce their champion for the year, and it would be another national broadcast on CBS Sports, so we would get that same opportunity we had before to get Massena back out there again. And so I just need to tell him whether we're interested in, it's basically the same group of events that we've done before. So, with that said, I gotta tell you that these sports shows that we've been doing have been, in my mind, the best that we've ever done. New York City was an eye-opener. I never thought that that was one of our key markets, but my gosh, this year I think it was the best show we'd ever done. Not that we had done it, but the reaction we got from the people. In one in particular, we're standing there and I hear this shouting from the aisle like, well, Massena now has a wonderful restaurant, and they're going like that. And so other people are looking and it's bringing people in, and he was talking about the grist mill. But anyway, to have somebody down in New York yelling out about Massena's eating, establishments, that was pretty impressive. The other thing, and Ray, I'm looking at you because I think you can relate to this. We're standing there, and there was this guy standing just outside, listening to me talk to somebody about the fishing here. He was smiling, and so I looked at him and I said, have you ever heard of Massena? He says, yeah, I've been there. He was a doctor that lives in Manhattan. He was there with his wife and daughter, and he said, I come to Massena for the tackle warehouse event. He's a non-boater, he's a co-angler, as we talk about the parking. And he said, and this is exactly what he said to me, and this is what I wanted all of you to hear. He said, I'm going to tell you, we've traveled all over the country, and Massena treats us better than any place else in the United States. And then he got very specific. He says the fact that you will take people around in a golf cart and take them back to their truck and so forth. He said, we've never been treated like this before. And so then he started talking about bringing his wife and daughter this year, just for a special vacation up here, so that they could go out to the locks and see that, and to the nature center and some of the things that are part of our presentation. But New York City was fantastic. It's mostly that we get in there, firemen and policemen and they're these type of people that are eager to do outdoor activities as well. And then I'm moving ahead now to New Hampshire. That was another wonderful show, and I want to tell you about one thing in particular. There's this, he wasn't really old, but he was older. He comes up to us and he says to me, how many can we get on a boat there? That's an open question. What boat are we talking about, and what are you talking about? Well, anyway, apparently he was a psychology professor at one of the colleges out there. And as he got talking, he says, I'd like to bring my grandchildren to Massena, if they could have some of the fishing that I see on these monitors. And the result was, an hour later, he comes back with 5 kids of all ages, from, let's say, preschool all the way up to teenager. And he says to the kids, I'm going to leave you in the booth. You can get a chance to get to know this person and see what you think of this area. These kids were so they were beyond what I can describe. They were so well-disciplined or well-mannered. It was a pure delight. And so now they're planning to come up here, and I want to make sure when they do come up here that this is a trip special for these kids to get introduced to the outdoors like that. So these are some of the things that go on at these sports shows that I love to be able to share, and I don't get a chance to share them all the time. So the event's been great. We leave tomorrow for our final one of the year. And Aaron Harding, who is now a guide representing Massena, he specializes in trout fishing, and he's planning to come down and to sort of support us and sit there in the booth and teach people how to tie flies. But this was the dream way back when we started doing this, that we wanted to involve the people that live here, the business people, all in the efforts that we do, because we're doing them for them anyway, but it makes us that much better when they get involved with us. So, and then the other thing that I did talk about, and Jared, I'd like you to know about this, because you might want to be part of this. We're on March 31st in the afternoon, we're going to have a meeting with the Power Authority about repaving up there at the intake. And so they want some of our opinions on how to do this in terms of how it's going to work best not only for our tournaments, but for the fishermen that live here to go up there and use that intake all the time. So, anybody that wants to be part of this is more than welcome to this meeting. It's gonna be a Zoom meeting held with Power Authority officials down in White Plains, and it'll be held out at Lindsay's office out there in Louisville. And the reason it's being held out there is because Louisville is responsible for the maintenance out there at the intake. And so, this is what's going on. So, in a nutshell, all that we've been doing, these sport shows, to me, have really come to the point now where they are what we wanted them to be years ago. But they see us every year, so they come in, oh, Massena's here, you know, and I got a chance to do two introductions on two different YouTube channels that they came to me with their camera and asked me to do, why is Massena here? What does Massena have to offer? This type of thing. So if they send us copies like they said they are, then I can share it all with the board. So anyway, that's what's happening.
Thanks, Don. You might want to mention the intent of the intake is keep all the parking on the intake side of the road.
Well, you can mention that when you come.
I talked to Jeff about that earlier.
It's created a safety issue out there with parking on both sides of the road at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're trying to keep it all on one side of the road, on the intake side of the road. That's our intent. Thank you, Don.
Yes.
Linda?
This month, I have really focused on the commencement of a profile, if you will, for the consolidated funding application. And the reason for this is because we typically have a 60-day window in which we do this application. But the narratives can be rather complex, and given the work that Dawn is doing with all of the sports shows, I felt that it was an appropriate time to start to gather information based on what folks are telling us in terms of, you know, their interest in Massena, their coming to Massena, their anecdotes about what has happened when they've come to Massena. All of that is being woven into this tapestry, if you will, of the narrative that we need to use to highlight how great the town is and how impactful their tourism efforts have been. So it's taking a good deal of time, but I think it's going to be worth it. We'll have a lot of very good narrative that we can use when they open the grant application. That's everything I have.
Thank you, Linda. Any old business? Any new business? Our next regular scheduled meeting will be Wednesday, April 15th at 4:30. We've got a 15-minute public comment period. Any comments from the public? Tom?
Tom Miller, 218 County Route 37. Mr. Supervisor, happy to see the water line project has started out on our road. What I'm not happy about is the early numbers are between $85 and $90 a month for water. I know a lot of you up there that sit on this board or in the village, you don't pay that much for three things. You don't pay that for water, sewer, and garbage. We're projected to pay between $85 and $90 a month for water. Now, your engineering company either misled us or led us to believe that there was so much water grants out there and infrastructure grants that price would be down. And that's totally unacceptable. I challenge you guys to find anybody that pays $85 a month for water. And I know that it's a win for the town of Massena, because now you're gonna get water out there and you'll be able to save millions of dollars when you build a new town barn, for the infrastructure and the water, fire protection, I get that. And also end game is, you have two other phases. You wanna get it out to the border. I understand that too. I have one question, and I know I'm not supposed to ask questions, so I guess I'll have to email you. But I want it on the record. The next two phases, are they gonna be separate from our phase? Or are we gonna have to pay more? Because phase 2 and phase 3, you're gonna be putting a lot of pipe in the ground where no users are available. And that's gonna drive the price up crazy. So I guess I'll email you to get that answer, but I hope there's a way that you guys can find to lower that monthly cost down to those users out there. And another thing I think there should be a big push is to those people that aren't buying into getting the water put from the road into their house, should be notified again that if they don't do it now, and I'm trying to spread that word, if they don't do it now, they're going to have to pay for it if they decide to do that in the years to come. So I think there should be a big push on that. And I hope, and I know that there was a survey that sent out to all of us, and yes, my wife and I said we'd pay up to $100 because that was part of it, but nobody is. If you look around and do your research, nobody pays that amount of money. I mean, so we were hoping we'd be down where comparable to other water districts, but I guess that's not going to happen. I mean, I was told that if you get another grant now, the RDA will start cutting their $5 million. I don't know if that's true, but I hope this board worked very hard on finding a way to lower the user's costs down on that water district and never raise it. Thank you.
I hear your voice.
No, I can hold you down.
Okay.
Eric, you got anything on that? Dylan?
Yeah, it's a little, I mean, I understand Tom's frustration, who loves to write a check every month for that kind of money. But the project, you know, I was just taking a quick peek at the order establishing hearing on district, which was just a little over 2 years ago now. And
Well,
the projected cost was $1,008 per year, which is right in line with the projections. I mean, we've gone forward based on these projections and people, I'm a little bit, I don't know what to say to Tom.
Let me just say that the survey was done, I just saw it was 2020, it was like 5 years ago. Lots happened in 5 years. Actually, I think phase 3 was 5.4. I think it's going to be another $1 million because it's 2 years later. If they would have been done sooner, they probably would have been cheaper. But as time goes on, they cost more and more money. There was $5 million for each one of the phases. Phase 1, phase 2. There's also $1.5 million and an additional $1.8 million. From what I understand, that's the best grants you can get. Now, some of the places you're talking about have been in for like, let me see, 20 years, 25 years. Like over by across the mall, that's been in there for 25 or 30 years. It was a heck of a lot cheaper back then to put it in than it is now. And actually, I'm not too sure if the builder didn't put that in at the time. So there's variations with all of these districts and how they were formed over the years. Some of them are 70 years old, some are 25 years old, and some are going to be brand new. And price just keeps on going up. And the reason we did this, you were still on the board at the time too, Tom. We said, let's get this going. There's going to be federal infrastructure money.
Yep.
We knew it was going to be out there, and those grants are good grants. I mean, they cover a lot of that cost. And the other thing I have to think about too is when you have water out there and you have an area that doesn't have very good water, then you spur more development because they have, even on a smaller piece of land, they don't have to have room for a well and a septic system. So you're going to spur more development. More people come out of that system, they're going to pick up that cost as well, and then your price could actually go down when you have more users on it. You guys are just paying for that infrastructure. What's left after the grants are done, you know, the residual. So I'm phase 3. Mine's probably going to be $85, $90. I know I pay for salt. I know I pay somebody to put the salt in the soffer because I can't do it anymore. I know I pay to pump my water and booster pump. I know I just put another pump in my well. It all costs money, and I think I'd be further ahead having water that's safe and sanitary than what I'm getting out of my well. A lot of people have had their well lines frozen and everything else. This will be done correctly. You'll be set for life. When you're older and you can't get around and take care of your system, it'll come to your house all ready to use.
So my recommendation would be then, if you get the cost of the project that comes in, and my understanding, you guys were already quoted saying it was a lot higher than you expected, I get that, everything goes up, then why can't you re-survey the users at that point and say, hey, these are gonna be close to our numbers at this point, where are we at? I mean, it takes so long to do this process, a lot of it, like the attorney said, it takes years to do this, and if you forget about what you say, and you're misled by the people that are knocking on their door and saying, we're pounding the grants and your price will be lowered, your price will be lowered. Well, we're misled. I mean, is phase 2 and phase 3 gonna have an impact on us, phase 1?
No.
No?
It should be separate, right, Eric? It should be separate districts.
Yeah, they don't overlap.
Okay.
Right? The districts are responsible for paying their own costs. In fact, it's required by law.
Okay, good, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and again, just so that it's clear, you got interest-free financing, you have $5 million in grants, this is,
Plus 1.5.
Yeah, and, the other thing is that I suppose there's a little bit of a built-in barometer, Tom, because the comptroller publishes a threshold every year where if the cost to provide the water exceeds that threshold, you have to go get comptroller's approval to do it, okay? And this, we weren't near that threshold, we didn't exceed it, so. I'm not sure where the disconnect is. It's a little hard to, sort out where that's coming, because all of this had to be done in public before the process moved forward.
And I didn't plan on having a substation with runoff into a cow farm next to me either. I'm concerned about my water quality. 5 years ago, I didn't know that was gonna be there. Now it's a big concern. I'm concerned about having safe water coming to my house.
Thank you.
It's tough.
How we mentioned about, like Tom said about people getting it now and not later. Well, I get phone calls and people ask, and I try to tell them, get it to your house. You don't have to use it.
I'm trying to spread that very same word,
Yeah,
because I think it's gonna be,
'Cause I said
there's a lot of
after the
people
fact-
not using it.
Right.
I thought I asked, point blank, they said remember that? Was it 90-something%? 98 maybe? It was quite a high percentage of the state where it's gonna be getting the water.
Well, I had a guy that definitely doesn't want it. He doesn't even want to put it to his house, and I told him, if you put it to your house at least,
Yeah.
number one, your value of your home is gonna go up.
Yeah.
But down the road, if you change your mind, then you're gonna have to pay for it, but right now, you're gonna get it there.
Yep.
I try to tell them that myself when I get phone calls. So,
And now's the time to run.
Any other closing remarks? Okay, like a motion to go into executive session. All in favor? Thank you all for coming.